And it is just so funny how she's married to Robb, and Robb seems like a cool guy, even though he puts on this demonic, satanic, metal image. And
Hmm.
she's wild because she's like an animal rights activist, and here she is
Right.
starring all these gruesome movies. But I think that's just it. Everyone just realized that's your day job. It's an image. You're not the person. It's the same thing when people were getting all offended when Liam Neeson's, telling all the NRA, shitheads to go fuck themselves. It was like, yeah, he's an action star. Doesn't mean he actually wants to live with killing someone in real life,
Right.
and people
Right.
don't get it. They just are like, oh, well. And it's like, it's all fantasy. Stallone and Schwarzenegger don't want to kill people for real. Bruce Campbell doesn't want to be impaling people and putting spells on them like an Evil
But
Dead.
Alec Baldwin does. I'm just kidding. That is not true. No one ever fucking say that.
Mel
That was
Gibson might. No, no, you
bad
can,
poor
I can
taste for
see
this
Mel
for me.
Gibson holding up a Jewish bank, though.
Yeah.
Exactly,
Defiar.
it was right in the head. And I remember
But
seeing someone do that. Is like I was bringing up a funny article. It was like, why do people keep hiring Mel Gibson when he's a piece of shit? And someone, it was so close to the Alec Baldwin one, I could tell everyone was like, because he didn't shoot anybody. I'm like, I see what you
but
did there.
but dude, it's like again, I have this conversation with people a lot. You can hate the person. You can hate them all you want.
Oh,
I
that's
like the
totally
movies
true
he's
too.
in. But
I
some people take it to both ends. They're like, "Oh, I can't stand looking at him, so I can't stand to watch
yeah,
Braveheart no more." Even though Braveheart's a film that's losing grace with time. Decently
people
so.
didn't realize how historically inaccurate it was.
Yeah.
But what's fun is like, no, they didn't have blue paint on, and they certainly
Pain.
weren't in that field. But that's what was available, so that's what they
Yeah.
shot. But I do
Sterling
find
was
it
fought on a
funny.
bridge. Yeah.
But no, that's totally true. I mean, Tom Cruise is a piece of shit recruiting people to be a Scientology bride, but I'm still going to see Mission Impossible because
Right.
it's
Or
Mission
in Top
Impossible.
Gun 2 and all that shit. Well, maybe not
Yep.
Top Gun 2, because they refused to call him Little Goose, and I was like, if you got
Oh
him saying
God,
calling him Little Goose, I'd
that
see it.
was just a military wet dream. And
Oh,
when
I
I
know.
saw how many people got recruited to join the military, I was like, yeah, go figure. But Roman
Yeah, or
Polanski,
we did an
he,
article. They were gonna sue you if you did anything saying anything bad about Top Gun. They were literally saying if you say bad shit about
I
Top Gun, they're
believe
gonna
it.
fucking sue the fuck out of you.
Jerry Bruckheimer's a piece of shit, so go figure. But I mean, I love Roman Polanski's movies. Is he a piece of shit? Sure, but
Sure.
still my top 20 filmmakers.
Here's another one. Here's another one. And he ain't even a filmmaker. He's just a guy that produced a ton of fucking movie. You already know what I'm saying. Harvey Weinstein, man. You know how many
Weinstein,
movies
John Peters.
I've seen so many Weinstein films, and I'm like, oh, should I not watch this film because it was
Yeah,
produced by
I'm
Weinstein?
gonna watch all those Dimension films, horror stuff like Dracula 2000 and Hellraiser. But yeah, is he a piece of shit? Sure.
Sure. And see, that's
Nothing I
that's
can
why
do. I can't
I
change
don't
anything
I think
other
we're
than
going to be
buy the
blowing
movie
some
used.
conservative minds here because a lot of conservatives don't know this about some of us movie critics. They just think we're all a bunch of liberal hacks. But yeah, just because we like a movie doesn't mean we like every fucking person in it. I mean, it doesn't matter. Like we just said, just because Weinstein produced a film doesn't mean we're going to sit there and be like, oh God, can't watch this film
Well,
now.
no need to apologize. It's not like the alt right has any double standards. They want it. They loved this one movie where Mel Gibson and Vince Vaughn play crooked cops that go around killing
Right.
drug dealers. And I'm like, okay, if a liberals had played that, you would have been, suffocating. Oh, I can't stand that. Rapist.
Or here's one. I don't know if you heard about this one. I talk about this one a lot, and actually, I say it because it's so goddamn funny. Is The Hunt? When that movie came out, they
And they
lost
had
their
Stalin. They
goddamn
had,
minds.
yeah,
They
yeah.
lost their minds. But I had to explain to a few of them. You do know the plot of these films, like the most deadliest game, is which it's based off of, and I
Exactly.
was like surviving the game. I was like, even goddamn Hunger Games. The whole premise of these movies are about the people that are hunting them are bad people. The people that are hunted are good people. And that is the whole. I was like, so you are actually destroying a movie which is about liberals hunting conservatives, and they're going to make the conservatives look like a good thing in the film and make the liberals look bad. So you're going against this whole idea of the moral, high ground. You're going to be displayed as a good fucking character, but
They
because it's
already
like
compromised. They already. I mean, it's a satire, and it's like Hard Target, but even more batshit. And they are just like you say. I mean, they politicize stuff before they even
right,
see it,
know the plot, yeah.
and they'll do the same thing if we bash some other wet dream, and it's just like, well, okay, it's
Let me
just.
ask you while I got you,
I think the
Cam.
masses have spoken. I just about everyone I know who's actually seen it and been on either side of the argument has generally liked it because the laughs make sense. But like you say, it's just Never ending.
So you're against a black mermaid, right?
No, man, I just don't watch any movies with black people in it. But no, seriously, it is so wild how it's like it's a fucking fantasy movie, and they're just and then they always
Right.
do the whole political correctness and just like woke, they don't know what it means, but they
Dude,
just say it.
I hate the woke shit because I've stomped
And these guys
conservative
are
rights
formerly
on this
religiously
shit.
reawakened, so it's like you guys real. It's like the boomers who were calling each other boomer. It's like you don't even know what it means, but you just want to get a rise out of people you hate.
Well, when it comes
And
to
then go
woke,
to church and you can claim I'm a good person, except
right,
I'm
clean
trolling
slate.
message boards
Um,
on Medicare.
I, I can't stand the woke shit because they use woke so wrong when it comes to films. I've actually made the argument, don't know if you've ever heard it, that there is no wokeness in films because it doesn't exist. And by that, I mean there is instances now, but for the most part, like I love when, like,
Yeah,
for example, there was a movie where they were talking about, oh, you see this movie, they're making the rich guy be the bad guy. And I'm like, really? Because when you go back 20 years in the 90s, it was the rich guy that was saving all the poor people. Remember Mighty Ducks? That's literally about a rich guy bringing a bunch of fucking poor kids out of the fucking poverty and shit.
yeah,
There's so many movies that are about, like, where the rich guy is the bad guy. Now that it's flipped, it's all of a sudden, oh, you act like that's been the whole time. That's been Hollywood's MO the whole time. No, films have always been different. There is no, like, this
exactly.
whole wokeness, like they've always been different. There isn't
They've
one way
always
where they're
been
like,
deep. They've always
right,
been self-aware. I mean, by this logic, you might. I mean, Rhodes in Day of the Dead is technically a Trump type, but again, just like all the various races that attack Kin Fori and Dawn of the Dead. Look out, Chocolate Man! I mean, these movies are in on the joke, but now
right,
again, the problem is we just have too many reactionaries. We have too
yeah,
many conservatives who
absolutely.
will, if they see Breitbart write up any piece, I must instantly agree, even though I haven't even seen this piece of shit.
I haven't seen it.
That's not a piece of shit.
Or
If
Dinesh D'Souza and his fucking piece of shit films, dude. I'll say it right now on the
I
record.
need
He
so
is a
many
piece of
idiots.
shit filmmaker,
I
a
know.
piece of shit fucking. I'm
I
talking to
know
the audience.
extras who worked on his awful movies, my dude, and they acted like they had been in something significant. I'm like, this isn't even a documentary.
No, it's not. There's no fucking evidence towards anything.
No
At least
evidence.
he could pull an Alex Jones and be like, I got it right here in my hand, so you can see.
He
There's
can't
not
even
even of
get
that.
decent production values, so it is kind of the pure flicks, scandal of just, you get enough crazies on you and you can say anything. And
Right.
the rest of us, and then they'll do the whole, it's, well, no, no one's seen this. I'm like, I don't have to see this. The smell is so pungent enough. I don't need to see God's Not Dead, Free for 6,000. They're all the same fucking thing. Where if you, I mean, we're even realizing that half the shit we grew up with was pretty much full of shit. I mean, no
Yeah.
one took Walker Texas Ranger seriously, but it took
No.
itself seriously, which is
Took
kind of
itself
funny.
seriously, apparently.
Touched by an Angel pretty much predicted the whole if you don't believe in God, you're going to get killed. But we love you.
But I'm just so sick and tired of other things coming out that give examples to what we don't want. And it's like, can you quit trying to make our country like Handmaid's Tale? Or can you quit trying to make the government like V for Vendetta? Jesus fucking Christ, dude. It's like
Yeah,
I,
can
I have always said, movies sometimes should lead examples for people, and I've always hoped that people will see them and be
can it
like, hey,
not be like person of interest where they're stealing
yeah.
our data nationwide and all our heroes are hackers?
And it's just like, hey, maybe we shouldn't be like 1984, but it's like, no, still goes over your fucking head.
No,
It's like they just don't get it, man. I don't get
they
it.
don't listen to history because they're too busy brainwashing all the crazies and they buy their own bullshit. That never happened.